Hey guys, so suddenly it's very clear to me what's been happening in my life. And now the thing is, I want to explain to you what attracts women these days. Okay? First, you have to be a man, okay? You have to be a man who knows his shit. Okay? This means this means you have to go into a state of awareness, okay? You go into a state of an awareness where you are in integrity, sober, drug-free, okay, and very healthy and exercising. And once you have that mindset where you're staying away from a lot of foods, you're staying away from all the toxins, you're staying away from all the bullshit that damages your health, you're staying away from pills, you're staying away from fucking bullshit of this world, okay? Now you have to realize, when you stay away from things that irritate your skin, when you stay away from poisons that make you less of who you are, when you stay away from things that give you cancer, when you stay away from things that just deteriorate you over time, okay? So this means you're aware, okay? So you may be going to a nightclub to find a woman for yourself, but you're sober. And since you're sober, you're probably going to buy a woman a drink, and then she's going to stand there for you. She's going to stand there for you. And guess what's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. Do you know why? Because you're not because you're sober. She's not sober because you bought her a drink. And she's not going to get with you because you're sober. Because you're very aware that you don't need her at all. Now, the thing is that in life, you want to be straightforward with your relationship with another person. You have to be honest. You have to be honest about who you are. You want to have financial riches? You want to have financial riches in your life? The best way is go toward Jesus Christ. Okay? Go toward Jesus Christ for all the finances you ever want in your life. You know, because I've lived my life basically on a pension for a lot of my life on Social Security, okay? And I thought that was the reason why a woman didn't want me. Or because I live with my dad. Because I live with my dad, and because I'm basically living with my dad and on a pension or on Social Security, which is why a woman will not accept me. You understand? Because of my financial ability. But the real case is that that's not my real financial ability. Okay? My worth and my self-worth is dependent upon Jesus Christ. And when I move into Jesus Christ, that's all the money in the world to me. Okay? That's all the money in the world to me. So the reason why a woman doesn't go for a man is because either the man is not in her face, the man is not sober and very aware about his actions, his responsibilities and all that, or either he's not moving into Jesus Christ. So the thing is that you have to realize something, that you want to be yourself, you have to move into Jesus Christ to be yourself. And now you walk the streets of Australia, you'll walk the streets and you'll see women everywhere. You see women walking right next to you and they won't talk to you. They won't say anything to you, okay? And now, why is that? Because you have to be someone who approaches them. And you have to act normal in a way. You have to act normal that you are worthy of their attention, that you are worthy to get to know them, and that you are worthy financially and everything to be able to provide for them. You understand? Because if there's something in your life that's taking away this ability to have a girlfriend in your life, it's your ability to be aware, okay? So the thing is that when you are aware, when you are very aware about this world, what it is, how to gain finances, how to do things in life, and how to do business, and how to attract charisma, and how to become a better person, when you're aware, when you're truly aware, alpha male kind of thing, moving into Jesus Christ, you realize, hey, I can go and meet new people. I can go and meet new people. Just because I'm on a pension and on Centrelink, or just because I don't have a 9-to-5 job, for example, or because I'm living with my dad, doesn't make me disqualified from having a girlfriend. Do you understand me? So that's what I want to pinpoint to you. A person who has everything has Jesus Christ. A person who has nothing doesn't have Jesus Christ. Okay? So the thing is that I want to explain this to you because it's very important, because this is something I've been tugging with in my life personally. And I was a cigarette smoker. I was a caffeine drinker. I was a drug abuser. I was an alcohol drinker. Okay? I was eating a lot of white sugar. Okay? Eating a lot of white sugar. Basically jobless, and also watching porn and masturbating in my room. Okay? Now, I want to say this, for example, that I was on the drugs almost 24/7. 24/7 on the drugs, or some chemical would be inside of me that is a drug, poisonous chemical, 24/7 inside of me for about from 16 to 33 years of age. 16 plus 16 is 32, plus 1 is 17. So for 17 years, I was on drugs, okay? Some kind of drug, whether it be nicotine, whether it be caffeine, whether it be white sugar, whether it be alcohol, whether it be illicit drugs, whether it be medication for schizophrenia, whatever it is, okay? And the thing is that because I was on drugs, I never felt stable. I never felt stable about the person I am. Especially living with a person, for example, who puts you down, okay, most of the time puts you down and puts you down and puts you down for years on end, puts you down, can tear apart your self-esteem, and can also make you feel less and less and less, okay, it can make you feel less and less and less, and they're not coaching you about anything, okay, but they're just putting you down, you know? So the thing is that that's why you have to lift yourself or nothing in life. A person's either lifting themselves or they're going downhill in life. That's why I have awakened. Okay, this means that I don't give a fuck. I don't care how many people are looking at my YouTube channel or not. You know why? Because I understand my life. I understand where I'm going with my life. I understand that I'm getting better in my life personally. Which means that I can go on events page and look for events that I can go to and meet new people where it doesn't have to be around drugs. It doesn't have to be around alcohol. It doesn't have to be around me smoking in front of them. It doesn't have to be me drinking caffeine in front of them. I can just show up as myself. I can just show up as a person, like for example, go to church, sit at church, meet new people, talk to new people, and they're all sober people there at church, most of them. And find new communities that I can go to where I can just be sober, be myself in front of people, and join a community of people where I can just talk where it's not gambling. Because I played poker for 16 years. Okay? I was in a community of gambling for 16 years. Okay? Which is a long time. 16 years, man, you can have a child with that age. Okay? Now, I want to say that, for example, okay, like you're getting to a better place in your life. And now you have to realize that, for example, you just have to be aware. And now the thing is that the woman or the man that you're searching for is not in a nightclub. Do you know why? Because in a nightclub, you'll meet people who are drunk. And because they're drunk, those people are not for you because you are sober. Okay? And now when you live a sober life, you have to remain that way. And sometimes for lifetimes and lifetimes, you have to remain sober and confident in who you are and strength and power inside of you to remain sober in life and to remain in integrity. You know, because the thing is that when you're searching for a woman in a nightclub, you can buy her a drink, but she's just going to walk off because you're sober and she's not. Okay? So the thing is that you want friends in life, you can have any kind of friend you like who's sober over there. You know, because the sober people are your true friends. A person who's sober will help you far more than a drug addict. Okay? Do you understand me? So the thing is that, now, I want to say, a person can be on schizophrenic medication, but be stable and aware about who they are as a person. Okay? Now, you have to realize that it's about moving into Jesus Christ. That's who you are. That's who you're meant to be. Okay? And now I want to say that you want confidence in your life, you want to understand life, you want to have a girlfriend, you want to have sex in your life, then you have to put yourself in social situations where you can talk to people and where you can feel good about yourself. You can feel good about yourself, about who you are as a person today. Now, the thing about me personally, what always kept me hidden from other people, what I was hiding from other people, was that I'm on a pension, and also that I'm not working a 9-to-5 job. Okay? And because I wasn't working a 9-to-5 job, and because I was on a pension and living with my dad, I basically cut myself off from social situations where I would meet people, like sober people or whatever it is, or even a woman, because of my self-esteem around my situation of me living with my dad, being on a pension, being on Centrelink, and not working a 9-to-5 job. Which is my own kind of stigma I put on myself that, no, I have to be living on my own. Once my dad dies, I have to be living on my own. Once my dad dies, I can have my own house, okay, which is a housing commission, okay, and then I can start to work 9-to-5, for example, and then I can start to attract a woman into my life. That's it. That was my thought process. Okay? That once my dad passes away, once I'm in housing commission, once I'm working 9-to-5 job, you know, then I can start looking at ways to have a girlfriend in my life and to start joining communities or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But who knows when that's going to happen, okay? So you have to realize that doesn't have to be my story, okay? What I can do in my life to meet new people, just to meet new people, nothing else. So I can go, I can go sober places. I can go to sober places, whether it be a vegan restaurant, go to vegan restaurants. I can go somewhere where people connect, not just sit down to talk with their friends. I can go places where people connect with each other. Okay? Whether it be speed dating, okay? Whether it be I can join communities like such as running, go for a run. I can go writing communities. I can join people, okay? I can join people where people sit down to connect with each other, okay? They connect with each other and they meet new people like that, okay? And now it all comes down to how ready are you to improve your life? How much are you willing to take responsibility for your life? Because a lot of people are not taking responsibility for their life, okay? Now, what I want to say now is that because I'm going a certain direction, I'm moving into Jesus Christ every single day. This helps me become more authentic. This helps me have that authenticity in my life. But it also helps me have that awareness in life to attract a woman and to be able to get myself in a stage where I have a girlfriend in my life. Okay? And where I have sober people as friends in my life. Do you understand? So the thing is that when I left the Serbian community back then, okay, I went straight to rehab, okay? I went straight to rehab. But the thing is that those people are still maybe even doing drugs today, okay? But if I was to go back to that community, Serbian people, I'd be putting myself in positions where other people are drinking alcohol, smoking, doing drugs, okay? Whatever it is. But this is the knowledge I have now. Move into Jesus Christ, okay? But back then, when I was with the Serbian community, I didn't have that motto, move into Jesus Christ, the way I do today. Which means that my skills today are far more effective than who I was yesterday, okay? So I want to say that that's why I've always been a lot hesitant. I've been hesitant to move into a new community, okay? Because I didn't know what community I wanted to move into. I didn't know if I wanted to move into a writing community, a vegan community, a running community, a gym community, or whatever it is, a class, whatever it is, you know, because of my finances, because I live with my dad, and because I was doing drugs, okay? And because of my perception of my finances, and what will other people think of my finances and how they will cheat on me if they found out that I had this much finances. Which is all bullshit, but that's how I was thinking, okay? I was thinking that I was not ready for a relationship. I was thinking that I'm not ready to go out with a woman or whatever it is. But I am, okay? I am ready. But of course, you want to make a sober decision, don't you? You want to make a drug-free decision. And you want to make an integrity type decision, okay? Which means when I was 26, 27, 28, 29, I was roughly moving into Jesus Christ back then. And I was pushing myself and pushing my comfort zones, okay? I was basically pushing myself through comfort zones, pushing myself into Jesus Christ, becoming more uncomfortable in my life. And I was becoming much more healthy in those ages. And I was traveling and doing things around the world, okay? And the thing is that now I realize what it is. I understand what I need to do now to have a girlfriend in my life. Okay, not just to watch other people have a girlfriend, okay, and compare myself to them, why they have a girlfriend and I don't. But this time I really understand how to get a girlfriend in my life. And just move into Jesus Christ. That's it. It's as simple as that. You want more finances, move into Jesus Christ. You want a girlfriend, move into Jesus Christ. You want sex in your life, move into Jesus Christ. You want a 9-to-5 job, move into Jesus Christ. Okay? You want to travel the world doing your passions around the world, Move into Jesus Christ. That's the answer. You want to have friends in your life. You want to feel that you belong to someone or that you belong to a community. You move into Jesus Christ. You want to feel normal again. Move into Jesus Christ. Move into Jesus Christ. Every kind of decision in the world that you can make, move into Jesus Christ now. You understand? Be someone, okay? You are someone right now. You are someone. And you can do better, okay? You can teach people, okay? You want all the fame and fortune, you move into Jesus Christ, okay? Okay? So you want to have sex today, you move into Jesus Christ, okay? That's how you do it, okay? So it's about being yourself. It's about being yourself in the world, being authentic, being in integrity with yourself, okay? Showing up for yourself daily, but really connecting with other people, collaborating with other people, moving to Jesus Christ for that. You understand? So you want a girlfriend, move into Jesus Christ. You understand? Move into Jesus Christ. And you can find communities of people out there through applications that you can actually just type in communications and you can talk to people, okay? You can message people online, okay? You can have a sober connection with someone, authentic connection with someone, okay? That's the whole point. The whole point of this life is to move into Jesus Christ as quickly as possible. This is the advice I would have given to my 12-year-old self. Move into Jesus Christ throughout your life. Move into Jesus Christ. Well, by this I mean, look at the Bible and look at Jesus Christ. Study Jesus Christ. Study his habits. Study the way he acts. Okay? Study the way he acts. Study what he drinks, what he eats, how he exercises, how he lives his life. Okay? That's what you need to focus on. And when you do this, you'll be more confident. Because where does confidence come from? It comes from moving into Jesus Christ. That's the true confidence. His lifestyle, his habits, the way he was speaking, the way he done things. Do you understand me? That's what you need to focus on today. Because when you do that, then you can go into communities that you can say, hey, I'm not a drug addict anymore. I'm not a drug addict. Okay? I'm not a drug addict anymore. And this is correct for me right now. I'm not a drug addict. I'm not a drug addict anymore. Okay? Which means now I need to start living that sober lifestyle, drug-free lifestyle, and in integrity with myself every single day, and slowly build more confidence over time, but become better and work on my business every single day. Okay, so focus on yourself to get to the next stage in your life. But what's that next stage? That next stage is moving into Jesus Christ. Moving into Jesus Christ, because there are people who are 53 years old, 55, maybe there are people all different kinds of ages, okay? They're not moving into Jesus Christ fast enough. There is a 65-year-old out there somewhere drinking alcohol and drowning in his sorrows, okay? So that's why I'm focusing on my health today. I'm focusing on really just being sober, being healthy, energetic, exercising every day, focusing on my business. Do you know what my business is? Information giving information about what I'm doing today, updating people about me, okay? That's why my Instagram is Danny Milivojevic, because it's my blog, my page, my value, okay? And posting information and value toward others on my pages, okay? And the finances in my life, don't you worry. What's important is not your finances. What's important is, are you moving into Jesus Christ today? Because when you're moving into Jesus Christ today, the finances just come very quickly. The finances will come very quickly when you're moving into Jesus Christ. But if you're not moving into Jesus Christ, no amount of money is going to make you happy. You understand? You need to be healthy. You need to be vibrant. You need to be in integrity. You have to be honest. You have to be honest. And you have to be truthful with yourself and other people. Do you understand me? You must be truthful and you must be yourself. That's what the game is. Be yourself at all times. Be your higher self. Be Jesus Christ.